Today is May 22nd of 2021. Last weekend on Saturday and Sunday I had two dreams. The first dream, I was planning a funeral. I was in a funeral home and it felt normal. Felt like everything was just routine, and I was working with funeral director and we were planning all the details of the funeral. And for some reason her paperwork was left on the table and she left the room. And I looked at her paperwork and it was single spaced. It was a couple pages of names of people, other people's funerals that she was working on arranging. And we finished our business and I got up and I walked out into the hallway. And this was not the same, it felt like I was working with the same funeral director that helped me with my dad's funeral. But when I walked out into the funeral home, it was massive. And I have a hard time explaining how massive it was. It was, you could have fit 2 or 3, maybe 4 trains in the large hallway and foyer. And everything was going smoothly like a well-oiled machine, and everything was top-notch, so it felt like my interpretation would be it was first world. There was massive death, massive death, and it felt like our country. And then Sunday night I had a dream of people being displaced, of there being a lot of people that were worn out, they were tired, and they were looking for hope and truth. And I was with another person and we were ministering the truth of the gospel to people. And there were so many people that were hungry for God and hungry for the truth that they were crowding around us. And I was with a man, I don't know who it was, but we had erected kind of looked like a snowdrift fence around him to keep the people away from him. And there were so many people that a few had slipped in on the other side of the fence. I was sitting on the ground with my back to the fence, and there were other people. They weren't being disorderly. They all sat down and they were behaving themselves, so we weren't afraid of the crowd pushing in on the ministering. And all of a sudden, as my companion was preaching, I felt overcome with the Holy Spirit, and I've never done this before, but I started very emotionally praying in the Spirit. And there was a woman that was right behind me on the other side of the fence that heard me, and she didn't know that I was one of the ministers. And she felt excited that she was so close to me, because she was that hungry for God. And I don't know what to think of that. I am very open to interpretations on that. It might not have been me. It might have been me seeing it through someone else's eyes. I don't know. But the people looked, they looked homeless. They looked dirty and they looked tired and they looked hungry for the truth. And I wanted to go back because I reviewed another dream. This has really been bothering me because I never did work out the whole interpretation of it. And I always welcome people to help me to figure this out. But the end of August of 2019, I made a video and I put it up. Well, no, I had the dream, but I put the video up September 5th. And I will link that in the description box. I had a dream of a pale horse. It was a palomino, and I had come upon a scene, and I was in a small town, and there was a little bit of a crowd. There was a ruckus. There was a crowd of people that were jeering this woman named Paige, and the name Paige means servant of God, and I think this is very important. She was being ganged up on by a crowd of people, and they were wanting her to get on a very dangerous horse that would have hurt her if she'd have gotten on it, and everything in her was telling her not to do it. But she felt so pressured to get on a dangerous horse that she was starting to commit herself to getting on this horse. And then suddenly a woman named Amy came up on a horse that was a palomino. It's a pale horse. That's what that word means, is pale horse. And she grabbed the lead rope of this horse. She swooped. She's riding this horse, and she swooped down and grabbed the other horse, and she took off on the horse with both horses. She was still riding the palomino. And the word, let's see, Amy. Amy means, Amy is a great president in hell and one of its princes. He appears as the flames of fire and can take human form. He commands 36 legions, and fallen angels and powers are under his orders. So I've put all this together. I think massive death is coming to our country, a first world country where we can afford nice funerals. And people are going to be displaced. I don't know if they're displaced through a pandemic. I don't know if they're left homeless for some reason. And they are hungering and thirsting after God. The fields are white unto harvest. We are supposed to pray for the laborers of the harvest. And there's something organized from hell itself that is causing people to get sick and to die. And people are going to be pressuring the servants of God, true servants of God. They're pressuring them. Is there pressure going on right now? Add it up. To me, it's logical that people are being pressured to take some kind of a medical injection that they don't want to. And I don't know what kind of repercussions this is going to have on people's immune systems once they have succumbed to all this pressure to do something they really don't want to do. And, well, there's quite a few people that want to do it. So we should be protecting and trusting in God, protecting the immune system He gave us, and we should be trusting in Him. And I know these two dreams were connected. I had them 2 nights in a row. I waited a week, and I didn't get anything else to follow up on that. And servants of God are being pressured and guilted into doing things they know they shouldn't do. And there you go. If I have any more, I'll put them up. Bye.